Do you want to avoid a lot of stress that's associated with beginning care at a new doctor's office? Then I recommend getting copies of your medical records every time you have something done. I'm Dr. John Bartemus, and I'm putting the pieces together to help you live a life at optimal. A life at optimal includes optimized stress levels. In previous videos, I've discussed how we can't live with zero stress. That would be death. But there's a difference between bad stress, which is distress, and good stress, which is eustress. Well, I believe we can all agree that accumulating our medical records from the various doctors we've seen over the years can be very stressful from a distress standpoint. Not fun. And today, this situation manifested itself with a client of mine who has multiple sclerosis. This person was diagnosed 11 years ago via spinal tap, and 11 years ago, EHR was in its infancy. Electronic health records, that is, was not the rage yet. Everything was done on paper, and records were stored in massive filing cabinets, in storage lockers, that sort of thing. So I don't know if you know this, but from a medical standpoint, medical offices are only required to keep your medical records for up to 7 years. After that, they can shred them or get rid of them. So this person was diagnosed 11 years ago. This person is now seeing a new neurologist, and the new neurologist is questioning whether MS is the correct diagnosis or not. Well, if they could easily access this person's medical records, see the spinal tap results, they could say yes or no, that was or was not the right diagnosis. This person's having trouble locating those records. The hospital and the different doctor's offices are all saying nobody has it. So what's the result of this? Not only is there stress associated with, hey, no one's got my records, but the real issue is now this person has to undergo another spinal tap to prove or disprove the diagnosis. Have you had a spinal tap lately? I don't think so, and I don't think you want one. This person on the first spinal tap passed out, and the pain was massive. They're not excited about having another one, but they also are not excited about waiting for a medical record to show up that will probably never show up because it was a paper record. It's beyond the 7 years, and so they're going to move forward with the spinal tap. So the hard lesson that we can learn from this person is that anytime you have a medical record recorded, I would ask for hard copies of it so that you have your own file built at your house. That over the years, if say you were going to come work with me, I want to see as much of your medical history as possible. I want to review all your medical records. Well, if you've had a diagnosis that's older than 7 years old, we may never get to that unless you have a copy. So it's helpful for your future doctors to be fully informed on your case if you can provide as much information as possible. And it may help you avoid a second uncomfortable procedure like a spinal tap or a liver biopsy or things of that nature. So today's nugget is do your future self a favor and ask for copies of the medical records every time you have a major procedure done, like a childbirth, like a spinal tap, like lab testing, anything that is going to be relevant in the future, you want to have copies of for yourself.